Shalom, Barakatah Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, all praises and glory definitely do, especially in the times we're living in. Much respects to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and to all the brothers out there doing the work, I say Shalom. All right, this is an article dated here, okay, December 8th, 2020. This is Hal Turner radio show, all right? And it says here, ominous U.S. positioning naval vessels off East and West Coast. Massive troop movements. Con us. All right, now, I don't know whether or not this is disinformation or what, okay? But that's not the point here, all right? The point is that we have been set up as watchmen, all right? And you can read this many places in the scriptures, Isaiah 62 and 6. We are watchmen set up on thy walls, over, Israel, over the people, over the Israelites. Again, you have Ezekiel, Ezekiel, the 3rd chapter, 3:17, Ezekiel 33 and 6. This is all over the scriptures, right? About being a watchman, all right? So anyway, so you people can go to those scriptures. That'll prove that to you, all right? I'm not going to take you there for, I don't want to make this a long lesson, all right? Over the past 4 days, there have been massive movements of troops, equipment, supplies within the continental United States. All right, so that's what CONUS is abbreviated for, continental United States. Today, Tuesday, the U.S. Navy is positioning aircraft carriers and their strike groups off both the U.S. East and West Coast. It appears we are preparing to defend ourselves from an invasion. Now, of course, it puts China there with a question mark. Now, of course, I can't tell you that because, we're not an insider. Those kind of things are really kept, from the masses, all right? That kind of information. Anyway, late Saturday, no fewer than 25 C-17 aircraft were in the skies over the USA carrying troops and equipment from around the nation, all going to Nellis Air Force Base. All right? You know what? I want to have a look here. All right? Anonymous, right? Give me a minute. Let's have a look here to see what ominous means. All right? Giving the impression that something bad or unpleasant is going to happen, threatening, inauspicious. That's what ominous means, people. All right? There were ominous dark clouds gathering overhead, threatening, menacing, forbidding, sinister, doomy, inauspicious, unfavorable, unpromising, black, dark. Yeah, didn't Joe Biden talk about a dark winter? Gloomy, ugly. All right? think you people get the idea what this word means now. All right? All right, let's get back over there. All right, because that's the title of this, right? Oh, anonymous U.S. positioning naval ships. Right? So now you know what that word means. All right. All right. So also late Saturday, no fewer than 12 C-130 aircraft were also on the move, also all heading to Nellis. All right. You know what? I want to see something about that. Give me a minute. Let's put in Nellis. Nellis Air Force Base. This is in Nevada, people. Official website. And that base was closed down supposedly 4 days ago. But this stuff is on the move. So something is going on, people. All right? Something is happening. All right? We're just not completely in the light about it. All right? Because you're not being told. All right? All right. On Sunday, locals on and around Nellis reported the base was swarming with soldiers and Marines. Right, but this place was supposed to be closed. We just read the thing. It was supposed to be closed, right? So something's going on. They also reported seeing vast array of bland fighting vehicles coming out of cargo aircraft, all right? So they're preparing for something, all right? Whether this is maneuvers, whether this is, some type of, psychops, all right, whatever. We don't know. This morning, according to U.S. Naval Institute, the Navy has deployed 3 aircraft carriers plus a landing helicopter dock, all right, LHD off U.S. West Coast, and 2 aircraft carriers and their strike groups plus another LHD off the East Coast. Off the West Coast is the USS Carl Vinson in the Pacific, not a port along Oregon-Washington border. The USS Essex off the coast of San Francisco. The USS Theodore Roosevelt and a strike group off the coast of Los Angeles. Off the East Coast are the USS Dwight Eisenhower off the coast of Connecticut. The USS Gerald R. Ford off the coast of New Jersey. The USS Iwo Jima off the coast of South Carolina. The map below lays out the approximate location of the vessels, right? So you guys could always have a look at that. Given these new naval deployments and the very large sudden movement of the troops into Nellis Air Force Base, one gets the impression that the United States is preparing to defend its homeland from actual invasion. Hint, that may actually be the case. The word in intelligence circles says if the Supreme Court void now, they're trying to tell you that this has something here to do with the elections here. Avoids, if the Supreme Court voids any or all November 3rd elections due to massive fraud, violations of U.S. Constitution with changes to election laws, the law of extension voting for weeks, in violation of 3 U.S. C1 and 2, Democrats are planning on asking the United Nations to invade to depose Trump as a dictator. So, again, people, they're telling you that. I don't know if that's, accurate or if that's really true there. Again, this is why I said from the beginning, this stuff could be disinformation. All right. There's also a word within intelligence circles that state California, Oregon, Washington, plus New York might actually try to succeed from the Union if Trump gets 4 more years. All right. That's also a possibility. There are a lot of possibility and scenarios in this, people. All right. That's what you have to understand. All right. And some of it is biblical and some not. All right. And may need to be forcibly brought back under U.S. control. All right. The same way renegade southern states were handled back in the 1860s during Civil War. It will grab my heart to see the U.S. military bombing egomaniac Governor Andrew Cuomo, a filthy commie. So, China and Russia are deploying several Navy assets in such a way that transit to the U.S. would not take long. That's interesting. So you see, that's another scenario. China is positioning out in the Pacific. Just this morning, British revealed that they have been tracking the entire Russian Northern Fleet off the British coast this month as the Russians head out into North Atlantic for something. All right. One possibility is they are heading toward the Mediterranean to deal with Syria and perhaps Turkey. But what if they're not? So they want to put doubts in your head. Going into the Mediterranean. What if they are positioning out in the Atlantic to arrive as requested along the U.S. East Coast? It sounds corny, but we won't know until we know. And that will be in a few days. Stay tuned, folks. We're seeing history unfolding. As a precaution, we remind you that your firearms need cleaning. This is hilarious, especially if you haven't used them in a while. They collect dust, develop surface rust and barrel, and now might be a good time to take them out, clean them, all of them, and make sure they are in pristine condition. Don't want any jamming or misfires if we suddenly find ourselves having to shoot and kill invading foreign troops invited here by traitors. Well, your problem is if you have traitors, well, that should have been dealt with a long time ago, many years ago. All right, but and I'm not talking in recent history. That should have been put out a long time ago, because what you all should have done is, you should have broken that connection with these international banking families. All right, that's what you should have did, but you didn't. All right, you didn't. All right, so it is what it is. The world is set up as puppet world leaders. And the international banking families, they pull the strings. All right. So anyway, you know what? I'm not going to read anymore. That's enough of that. All right. I'm moving on to talk to the next one. All right. So, shalom.